Night of the Living podcast is always ad-free for patrons at patreon.com/NOTLP.
Hey everybody, welcome to Night of the Living podcast. I'm Freddy. There's Amy.
Hello.
And there is Andy.
Hey.
We are wrapping up Walter Hill month with our good buddy Timmy B. Tim's pick. If you want to learn, by the way, learn. If you would like to,
Would you like to learn?
If you want a
Who
chance to
doesn't love to
win
learn?
the opportunity to pick a main attraction for our show, just sign up for our mailing list at notlp.com like Tim did. And Tim picked the 1988 action film Red Heat. And the theme is Walter Hill, the creations and works of Walter Hill. We've already covered Southern Comfort, which was this a Southern Gothic thriller. We did 2 episodes of Tales from the Crypt that there's some familiar faces in both of those in this movie. And then we also did a movie that Walter Hill produced that's not so good called Bordello of Blood.
Not so good.
Not so good.
So bad.
Last week. This is a nice recovery.
Yeah.
When you get into it, we'll get into the beats.
It's a step up, but
Yeah.
nice is overreach.
I mean, it's a real movie. It's more of a real movie than Bordello of Blood was.
Yeah. I mean, it's doesn't have Dennis Miller, so that's always a plus.
Characters interact within the same frame. That's refreshing to see after last week. But yeah, we'll get into that. Patreon, thank you so much. That's how we pay the bills around here. This week at Patreon,
Patreon.com/NOTLP.
we have ad-free versions of this program and also the Zoned Out Twilight Zone show. Last week, we did It's a Good Life, so you get that ad-free there. It's a Good Life is the one with the little boy who everybody's
You're talking about
afraid
the Twilight
of.
Zone right
Yeah,
now?
the Twilight Zone. So Zoned Out is the podcast. The show we talk about is the Twilight Zone. The episode was Billy Mooney, where everybody's scared of Billy Mooney because he's got magic powers. It's the one they remade in the Twilight Zone movie in the 80s. You know it, right? You guys know it? The Simpsons parodied it.
I know what you're talking
Bart
about.
had his
Yeah.
powers and all that. Yeah. Also, we have Topicana. It was a Memorial Day edition.
That's when we
right?
talk about the topics of the day, where we get to be a little off kilter, where it's all tangents.
It's all tangents.
We have a good time there.
It's all honest,
Mm-hmm.
unvarnished. We talked about Tulsi Gabbard.
We lie on this show, but on Topicana,
Unvarnished.
unvarnished.
Stephen Colbert, Hooters, Rick and Morty movie, all that's in there.
Yep.
And then Origins, where we revisit our episodes from the past with new commentary. Amy, you did this most recent 350, The Haunting in Connecticut, and Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Yep.
What's that from? 2014?
January of 2014.
Yeah. Anything stand out to you special about that particular podcast?
I have to say Connecticut in order to spell Connecticut correctly.
Yeah. And also, you said it was the dumbest title, right? I think we all agreed.
The movie was The Haunting in Georgia 2. Or no, The Haunting in Connecticut 2, Ghosts of Georgia, which was a movie Andy watched and reviewed.
Do you remember it, Andy?
Do you remember? Do you remember?
Oh, what a silly question.
No, there's no way. It couldn't be a memorable movie, right?
Well, that and the fact that it was 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And we're 46 years old.
Yeah.
And memories are just being whittled away from us.
Yeah, but if it were an outstanding movie, you'd remember, right?
I don't know. I honestly, I don't really remember a lot of Russian roulette movies.
I think you
Yeah,
said
that we've
about.
seen.
They're mostly forgettable, yeah.
I think you said about this movie
Yeah.
that there were too many ghosts.
Too many ghosts.
That's how you felt back then.
Yeah.
We were listening to a little Gina Gershon before we got started here.
That was my rev up music today.
Did you know she had some music out, Andy?
I had no idea. So when Freddy sent us that album of hers, I was like, what?
Yeah.
She's a musician and author. She's a triple threat.
She's done it all. The album, I was listening to it. It's legit. It's not a bad album. It's not a joke. It's called In Search of Cleo. Came out in 2007, just a year after we started.
Wonder if she were a founder.
And you made me laugh in a gross way.
He mentioned Gina Gershon because she's in the movie that we're reviewing.
Yes.
Yeah.
We didn't pull that out of our ass.
And
we're always
she's
talking
Andy's best
about
friend.
Gina Gershon here, and she's Andy's best friend. So
Because they both had a really good hair day the same day. And a pretty stunning photo of them together.
Is that what makes a best friend? Just having good hair days on the same day?
When your good hair lines up, because then you know all your pictures are going to look good. But yeah, it's like kind of like it's alternative. The album
feels
that
more
we're
like
talking about.
standards,
But it feels like jazz and bossa nova kind of more so. I know she's a dancer. I don't know if that's if it came more out of movement or what, but it really is not bad. It's a good album.
The album cover leads me to believe that it was alternative or emo.
Oh, because she's crying little trickles of blood out of her
Yeah,
eye.
and she
A rose in her hair.
It has that scene hair.
Yep. And she's holding a black cat.
The 2000s.
Yeah. It's borderline gothic, the cover. A little goth.
Yeah. All she's missing is a tiny vest and a tie.
Like
she'll fit right in.
Have you listened to any of it yet, Andy?
No, I'm lazy, but I take your word for it.
She does a song. My favorite title on the album is one called Pretty Girls on Prozac. I thought that was a fun title.
That's me, except I'm not on Prozac. I'm on Prestige. Same diff.
Yeah, they're all the same.
Prozac it rolls off the tongue easier.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
It do.
And it do and it be.
Yeah.
Somebody cut me off today, Andy, on my way home from work. And it's like thrown me off my game because I couldn't road rage at him because I promised Freddy I wouldn't do that anymore. Although I did flip him off.
I don't want her to get killed.
I don't consider flipping him off.
Like, was this on the highway or just a residential road?
It was a residential road. And he just cut me off. Like in a dangerous way. And I'm mad at it. It was a Beamer.
What a jerk.
And a fucking Beamer.
What? Beamer? Shocking.
Shock horror.
What a turd.
So mad. I hope that he has the worst diarrhea of his life.
That's why he cut you off.
That he's ever had.
Did you have to slam on your brakes?
Yeah. And I hope somebody he loves also gets diarrhea.
We have a stop sign at the end of our street that people routinely run, and someone ran it on me yesterday.
And I hope those people have to clean up after the people who have diarrhea in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
But did you honk? Because sometimes
I did honk.
I don't react in time, and then I think about the lost honk.
The lost honk.
The lost honk.
For the rest of the day. Because you can't do it a couple of seconds. You have to do it right away. Otherwise, it loses its effectiveness. Because you can't, scream in your car and then honk.
Exactly. It's quite the balance you have to reach to really be an effective asshole back to the asshole.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that happened to you, Amy. I hate bad drivers.
That it happened to me as well.
I'm glad you could find peace here.
I didn't chase after him. I didn't roll my window down.
Well, would you have chased after him if Freddy said, "Calm down" on the road rage?
Maybe. I've been known to.
There's a reason I get concerned about Amy's road rage.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
Let's just say that I got problems, and that's why I'm on the Prestige.
Yeah.
And everybody's safe.
We need to get you one of those car cams just so we can build your case if something happens.
Exactly. We should do that.
Yeah, you do need a dash cam.
Dash cam.
What are you writing down? You want me to move on?
We can.
Okay. You just had that energy about you.
I've got moving on energy.
Yeah.
Moving on up.
Don't get riled up.
Turn out lights, it's the main attraction. This week's main attraction is, like I said earlier, 1988's Red Heat. This is the wrap up of the Walter Hill month that we're doing, and I'm very excited to see what comes out of the hat at the end of the show today.
You know what? I have to say, I literally have never heard this movie until this week.
Really? Yeah. This it was weird because he made Schwarzenegger. When I say he made this, and then I don't know if it was just a couple years earlier. Remember Raw Deal, where he was played another Russian guy in that. I think. If I
Who
remember
heard?
right.
Okay, whatever. Which came first?
Raw Deal came first, I think.
Whoever heard his Russian accent and that was like, let's do it again.
Well, here's what's funny is I was looking this up, and apparently he does a pretty convincing. Like when he speaks Russian, it's supposed to sound like an appropriate dialect. I've actually heard that he spent 3 months learning the shit, and people say it's right. I wouldn't know. I have no way of knowing.
All right.
Now, when he's speaking English in a Russian accent, I don't know if that's remotely correct or not, but I know they say that when he's speaking Russian, that's pretty good.
I mean, can't he? I mean, I don't think he can shake that accent off, regardless of what accent he tries.
Austrian is it's such a thick accent. His in particular is really pronounced. And I think maybe because it's so far east in Europe that maybe it's easier to cover your accent in an Eastern European language.
But here's the thing. I don't think I could tell the difference between like a Russian accent and any other Eastern European accent.
Yeah.
Let's just put underneath the European accent umbrella.
The European accent umbrella. That sounds like an official organization.
It's like I have a 10 year when it comes to accents. Like when I know there are different British accents, but I think the only one I can actually pick out is like Cockney or something.
Right. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like our entertainment is where we get most of that education, and I think we get more movies with Cockney characters in them too, because they're more fun, because they're all criminals in those movies.
Yeah. So A for effort, Mr. Schwarzenegger, on your accent.
Sure.
So this was a summer movie, came out June 17. Written and directed by Walter Hill, but contributing to the screenplay was Troy Kennedy Martin, who wrote the original Italian Job, and then the Russian-born screenwriter Harry Kleiner, who wrote Bullet, the Steve McQueen movie, which I have never seen, and it's supposed to be one of the great action movies. I've seen the chase sequence, but I've never seen the movie. So let's do that sometime. There's this quote I found from Walter Hill about the movie. He said, I had confidence in him as an actor, talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger. Said, I didn't want him to throw a Volkswagen over a building. Arnold has an ability to communicate that cuts through cultures and countries. They just love to see this guy win. But everyone thinks it's his muscles. It's not that at all. It's his face, his eyes. He has a face that's a throwback to a warrior from the Middle Ages or ancient Greece. And then he made him lose weight for this too. I don't know if you noticed that he was like a little more of a trim version of Schwarzenegger.
Didn't notice that.
I don't pay attention to his body enough to know the difference between this Schwarzenegger and any other version.
Right. So like, I guess at the time it was noticeable when he was a huge star because people just saw him all the time that they noticed it. But he lost maybe 10 or 20 pounds, but like his cheeks, they did that to make his cheeks look more sunken so he'd be believable as a Russian.
Okay, well, 10 or 20 pounds on him
is nothing. Yeah.
Right.
Nothing.
That's a dump.
Mhm.
I thought that was
That's a
kind of
dump.
interesting though, that they didn't want him to be too big, and he's still fucking humongous. This was scored by James Horner, who I didn't realize had died back in 2015 in a plane crash. Did you guys know that?
Interesting.
Yeah.
He's the Titanic guy.
Yeah, Titanic, Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan, he did that. All kinds of good stuff. He worked with Spielberg too. I didn't realize that until I was doing research for this. I'm sure at some point I knew that and I forgot, but he's one of the big, in my imagination, I think of him up there with like John Williams, and Alan Silvestri, that kind of era of guys. Just thought
Was it a private plane that a civilian was flying?
I don't know. It's just this plane crash. He was 61.
That sounds like a rich person
Yeah.
friend crashing a plane type thing.
Doesn't it always? But that's the late great James Horner doing the music. And the film is dedicated to the stunt coordinator, Bernie E. Dobbins. That scene in the beginning at the bathhouse where they're fighting out in the snow, when
with
they
their
were,
little modesty towels.
yeah, with their
on,
modesty towels.
the little modesty aprons, butt cheeks out.
He died making that scene.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he had a heart attack in the snow.
Shit.
Coordinating that scene. Yeah.
Too many muscle dudes.
Too many muscle
He
dudes.
got him. He got him worked up.
In Ramsau, Austria, I guess, is where they that exterior was shot.
You guys mentioned the bathhouse scene, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, like this is awesome. This is like fun, campy action stuff." And I was hoping that the movie would be like this for the rest of it, just over the top, silly stuff. But it's a lot of talking.
It's more grounded, yeah. It's not what you think it is at first.
And that's the problem with this movie. You can't have a grounded movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, he's inherently kind of silly.
Yeah.
And they had to fight that, I think, in this, and that's why they didn't have him doing a bunch of the quips and one-liner shit.
Mhm.
They'd kept him mostly quiet.
Yeah.
Most of the talking in the movie is done by Jim Belushi. So yeah, the settings, like you were saying, that thermal bathhouse, that's a real place. The interior they shot that at, which I know there's a reputation for bathhouses these days, but it looked like a pretty relaxing place.
I feel like American bathhouses and European bathhouses, they're different things.
Different. I wouldn't know.
I think this type of bathhouse, I think you know what you're going there for, and it's just relaxation and
To lift weights.
apparently lifting weights.
Sitting in a sauna.
And it was co-ed. It was like men and women. And
But
they're all just
apparently the
hanging
women
out.
don't have to wear modesty towels.
No, they
Yeah,
don't.
women can walk around flip flapping, but dudes got to cover it up.
Flapping.
Flip flapping.
Is that
It's a technical term.
yeah. Yeah. So before we get to the bathhouse, you have the opening credit sequence, which it's Red Square. And that was really a big deal in '88 because this was like the first American action movie that was not like the first movie that wasn't like a documentary that was allowed to come in and film in Red Square. So that part of it is really the real deal. It's Russia.
Well, I did appreciate them filming on location, like in Russia and other European cities and Chicago. I like movies that have a set place instead of this generic cities that, for a lot of times Canada fills in for like a lot of places, and it's not like a defined place. So I appreciate movies going to places where you know where they're at.
It makes a huge difference, right? Because like part of the appeal is the time capsule of what these cities looked like in the '80s too.
Yeah, and it feels like you said, more grounded and lived in.
Yeah. So you get that genuine Russian square, but then the rest of the time you're seeing Russia is usually actually Hungary, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I imagine they couldn't film more than a little bit.
Right. And sometimes you think you're seeing Chicago and you're seeing LA.
Oh my God.
And sometimes I think you're even seeing LA sometimes when you think you're seeing Russia, but I'm not sure.
Holy moly.
The movie magic. So the thermal bathhouse is the open. Schwarzenegger is at this point an undercover Russian police detective.
Oh, please, him undercover. You're picking the wrong person
Although to be
infiltrate
fair,
something.
he blends in at this place. Everyone here looks like they just came out of Mr. Universe competitions.
Yeah.
So he does actually blend in with these guys.
Well, in this place,
Yeah.
but anywhere else.
Anywhere else, no.
Like he's very he has niche undercover abilities. It's like, hey, we need you to infiltrate this crime wave at this gym. It's like and it's always like workout places.
So the reason he's there at this hot house is to track down Victor, the Victor Rostavili, who is this cocaine dealer who is bringing cocaine into Russia. He's
The poison of the West, they call it.
Yep.
Cocaine.
Cocainum. Yeah. So at the bathhouse, he's trying to track this guy down. So his known associates are in this place, and he's posing as a steel worker. I guess because that's the connection. And in the open, he's found out. A huge fight ensues. But he's given where to find Victor at this place called the Druzhba Cafe, which I love this place.
I want to talk about the before we move on, talk about the bathhouse fights. Everybody gets yeeted out of a window into the snow with their little mossy towels. So they're literally almost butt naked fighting in the snow.
It's a great fight scene.
Yeah, and I this is what I want from 80s action movies, like silly stuff like this.
Yeah. It should have never left Russia. Like the movie, as much as I like this movie, but like I would have liked this movie like 75% more if it never left Russia and all this shit went down there and it's more interesting. Although I do like the Chicago parts of it, but we have movies like that. Lots of movies about Chicago police people, right? You don't get a lot of Russian police stories over here anymore. Right. So yeah, after the bathhouse fight, the Druzhba Cafe, where there's this great NPC playing piano and singing really like gravelly voice Russian songs, and everybody's having a good time. And Victor is hanging out with his gang, and they've come in at this point. Now they're in uniform, right? They're no longer undercover when they come to the cafe, if I remember right. Do you guys remember?
I can't remember.
Okay.
No, he's in his looks like an M. Bison uniform.
Yeah, the Russian police uniforms. Yeah, they have like all kinds of like designs and frilly little fringy bits.
Yeah, and the hat.
Oh yeah. So,
but I like this whole bar scene. I like it's like that they actually took the time and effort to cast background actors. I feel like you just don't see like big crowd pieces anymore.
Yeah, it reminded me of it's like a Robert Rodriguez, like those scenes from like Desperado and El Mariachi. It had that vibe.
Yes, like same thing with the bathhouse scene. They took the effort to cast all these like muscled up guys and to be naked on screen too. So like I appreciate the effort behind like the filmmaking. It's probably what I liked most about the movie, the actual filmmaking.
Oh, it looks great. Yeah, it's a beautiful movie. It looks as good as any like A-list movie, I think. Like the fight scenes are really well choreographed. All the landscapes are beautifully shot. Like I think the things that hurt the movie that make it not a perfect movie are more like story and character likability problems.
Yeah.
But
are you supposed to like Belushi?
But it mostly works for me. I think you're supposed to like him on some level.
Because he's a real creep.
He's a total creep.
Yeah, we'll get into that once we get to America.
We haven't gotten to America yet. At the Druzhba Cafe, Schwarzenegger comes in with he has his partner with him now, Yuri. That's Oleg Vidov, who is a Russian actor. He was the real deal. Some of these guys who are playing Russians are like Hungarians and stuff. But the thing that's notable about Oleg Vidov is he's the guy who saved I don't know how to pronounce it. I know the Russian animation company, Soyuz Multfilm, I think is how they pronounce it. But there's all these classic Russian cartoons and stuff that he owns the rights to. Just a funny little side thing. But he's Schwarzenegger's police partner in this. And they do the raid on the cafe, and Victor throughout this, Victor kills the partner.
Which you knew was going to happen because that's what happens in all these 80s action movies. The partner gets killed. Yeah. That is the impetus for
and there's the
hero.
The scene from this movie that I think most people know is before the fight, and it breaks out in earnest when Victor is saying, "You're just picking on us because we're Georgians, and that we're like lower class people." And he's like, "Well, no, I'm picking on you because you're drug dealers." And he pulls the guy's leg off. You think he's breaking his leg, and Schwarzenegger pulls the guy's false leg off, and it's full of cocaine. And he's like, "Cocaine them." And then the fight.
What? Well, the cocaine is not wrapped up in those little bundles either.
It's loose.
Like normally from movies, you know how they're taped up, and you have to cut up with a knife and sample it with the switchblade. This is literally loose cocaine in a prosthetic leg, and this is why they got caught, because they're bad drug dealers.
They suck at their job.
Because I just imagine like the moist environment that
Right?
It would ruin it, right?
that prosthetic leg with the suction would cause, and that's your cookine's ruined. And I wouldn't want to snort cocaine that's been stored loosely
Wet cocaine.
in somebody's prosthetic leg.
Yeah, that's pretty nasty.
Wrap that up and put it in a baggie at least.
At least a baggie. Minimum. Unless they had a special. Maybe we missed the part where he had the special airtight seal secret compartment in there or something. And they're like, we can't show that. It's too it'll give it away and everybody will put cocaine in their fake leg.
Oh, go ahead, Andy.
No, I was gonna say anything.
So this whole cocaine and heroin thing becoming a problem in Russia and the poison of the West and all that stuff. I was starting to think, like, is this a pro-Russia movie? Like,
well, you're looking at somebody who's creating this out of whole cloth and kind of
right.
You know, Walter Hill's, this is a story idea he had that started because of the fake leg bit. He thought of the fake leg bit
and went from there.
And he knew he wanted to make a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I think the whole reason for the shift to like, there's a lot of material out there about this movie that I recommend you watch. Behind the scenes stuff.
Well, Russia thought it went away after like 20 minutes. And then I was like, oh, I see what we're doing here.
Maybe that's why they had to like make some concessions to the script to not be too pro Soviet Union to actually be able to film there. So who knows?
They would have to be more pro to be more fair, and
they couldn't be. Here, I think when you look at this movie, Walter Hill didn't make movies through the lens of judging the characters in the movie at all. I don't think.
Yeah, they're not going for like a Red Dawn type thing.
Right. And there's no, like, the characters are just, I think the importance of it is what I've learned about Walter Hill this month is that he likes to show people how they are and not try to polish a rough person into a totally likable character, because he wants something that's more real than that. And I think it's as simple as the most different thing from a Chicago police officer is a Russian police officer. And that Schwarzenegger is more viable as a serious character if he's not playing an American.
Okay.
And I think and then everything filled in from there where they're like, well, let's learn about Russia. That's my impression. But then they have that other screenwriter who was a legit Russian-born person who also contributed. So who knows what they brought into it? They might have been pro-Russian. Or it could be really
No, I don't think it was. The movie wasn't. But I think at first I was like, this is really painting this picture of Russia as this like paradise where there's no drugs. And now all of a sudden there's drugs.
Oh, yeah.
And then 20 minutes to a half an hour later, the Russians are acting very secretive and controlling and kind of like dicks. And I'm like, oh, okay, we're not pro-Russian.
Yeah.
It's all the propaganda.
We also have to, and we're also like kind of attuned to having the Soviets as the enemy in the 80s, especially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this was interesting how they kind of handled them with kid gloves when every villain in the 80s was from the Soviet Union.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny because we're in the Cold War, firmly in the Cold War when they made this movie. And then you have not only this, but they made other movies around that time, like Ruskies, where these kids find a Russian who's trying to defect. It's like E.T. with a Russian instead of an alien. And then there's Rocky IV, where at the end he's like, if you're people and I'm people, and then I hit you in your people head and you hit me in my people head. You know what I'm talking about? The big speech at the end where we're all the same, Russians and Americans. Like, I think that's Hollywood's reaction to, they're like, okay, things got pretty scary there in the Cuban Missile Crisis. So we're going to go for this mutual respect shit. And this is still when they're communists. So their entire way of life is different than ours. There's not even capitalism there yet. And so it was all about meeting everyone in the middle and making the least dangerous product you could, I think.
Right.
And then Walter Hill's whole thing is, again, I think he just likes showing rough characters in the way they are and not in the way we idealize them and all that.
I think that was a problem with part of the problem though with this movie, because the characters were a little too rough. especially Jim Belushi's character.
Jim Belushi.
He grew on me a little bit. I don't like Jim. I have a gut, like, you know how you are with certain actors.
Yeah.
I have that a little bit with Jim Belushi for some reason, but
He has this inherent sleaziness about him.
yeah, there's something about him.
They really leaned in this movie.
Yeah.
And inherent sleaziness and smarminess.
He grew on me a little bit in this, but I think, like, I saw him, I think, the way that everyone else in the movie saw. I like that they are critical. The people around him are critical of him. Well, let's get to America, right? So we can get to
Dead
Jim
partner.
Belushi. The partner's killed.
Victor gets away. They know he goes to America, so they send Arnold Schwarzenegger.
In order for him to come, he has to be escorted by Chicago police. So they go to greet him at O'Hare, which I think is LAX, standing in for O'Hare. I wouldn't know the difference. They're both look insane to me all the time. You've been to O'Hare, Amy, right?
I've been to both LAX and O'Hare.
Yeah. Well, could you tell them apart?
No.
Okay.
Well, I've only been in the terminals. I haven't been at like where the planes take off. I've never been, so I couldn't tell the difference between like what besides where you board and stuff.
So we're at O'Hare, and we meet Art Ridzik, who is Jim Belushi's character, and Sergeant Gallagher, who's his partner, I guess.
We're introduced to Jim Belushi by him commenting on women's bodies.
Like,
Yeah.
just out the
Gross manner.
gate. And are you supposed to think that's funny?
In the 80s,
yeah,
maybe.
We haven't mentioned
Yeah.
the third. Was Stobbs with him at that point already when they're at the airport when he's talking about the lady, or is that
he
later?
wasn't. He wasn't with them then.
Okay, because I know later he's doing that in front of Stobbs too, where he's like, "You think them boobies are real?" And they have that whole conversation. And Stobbs, Lawrence Fishburne's character, is very dignified and professional. And I think most people are gonna align with him and the way he looks at
Yeah.
Jim Belushi's character. I think he represents the audience a little more, a modern audience. In '88, people were probably loving Art.
I don't
Ridzik.
remember what the context was, but I did write down a Jim Belushi's, one of his character's lines, which was, "I'm going to bust that bitch so hard she bounces."
That was a pretty good line.
Who is he talking?
I think it was we were talking about Gina Gershon's character.
Isn't that nice? Gonna
'Cause
bust
he,
that
like,
bitch
'cause
so
she-
hard.
Because like she's involved in everything, and like I think he wants to kind of like get information out of her or something.
Yeah, that's Kat. She has a dance studio, and she that's Gina Gershon's character. She married Victor as a convenience marriage so he could come to the U.S. so that he can fulfill the master plan here, which is to get in contact with a gang in Chicago called the Cleanheads.
So the gang was the Cleanheads? I thought they
Yeah.
were referring to drug addicts as
no,
Cleanheads.
the gang's the Cleanheads.
Okay.
They're the gang. And the idea is Victor's going to come to Chicago, use some spycraft type of shit to get in touch with this gang. And they're going to give him $5 million worth of cocaine to sell in Russia. And that's what gets everything rolling. And then that's where she gets pulled into it. She was kind of around that group and married him. And then she becomes kind of like a witness later in the story and tries to help the Russian police. Yeah, Ridzik's he's a dirtbag. The scene where he's in the airport and the lady's walking by, I love the moment. And this might be what made me like the character a little bit, is he says, "Hey honey, how you doing?" to this woman walking by, and she says, "Suck your own dick," or I can't remember, blow yourself. That's what she says. She says, "Blow yourself." And he says, "That's a good idea. Thank you very much." And he just left her alone. The guy he gets batted down so frequently in the movie by Schwarzenegger and other characters that I'm kind of like he's kind of a comic foil to me.
He's a buffoon.
Yeah,
so, like,
a buffoon.
It like eases his character off a little bit. Did not totally hate him, but he's still unlikable.
Yeah, because he tries to be friends with Victor, and that's kind of endearing because you feel like
Victor.
well, not Victor. I meant to say Ivan
Schwarzenegger?
Donko. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I did appreciate the scenes where they're at that diner and Jim Belushi's character is asking him questions about his life in Russia and everything. But that's buried underneath all the other misogynistic, sexist comments that he's made toward women. And I think that the problem for me is like both of these characters are assholes, and you can't have a buddy movie
with two assholes.
With two assholes, yeah.
I don't know. By the end of the movie, I liked both of them more than I thought I would. But like the characters themselves, like there's a line that Schwarzenegger's character delivers that is so. I don't know if it's meant to be a criticism of the way things are in Russia. It's almost like the very dark version of Yakov Smirnov's in Russia, blah, 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 blah. Suit, where's you? But like in this, he's like in Russia or China. They're talking about China, right? Where he says they kill the drug dealers and the users. And then if the politicians don't get in line, they kill them. And he just says this matter of factly. The character doesn't offer any judgment of it or anything. That quote made me wonder about, I'm like, is this character supposed to be, is that his mentality? Is he that dark of a character that he just wants to kill all of them?
I think the whole movie had a very anti-drug dealer, anti-addict, anti-drugs kind of feel. Very heavy.
It was on trend with the 80s, just say no stuff.
Yeah, and Dare.
Yeah. It was a little extreme.
I mean, to be anti-drug is one thing. To be very anti-addicts, which this movie came across as.
But that's the attitude of the cops at the time.
True.
And still some people today. And I think that comes back to that thing where, the example I think of is in Southern Comfort when Keith Carradine's character uses the N-word. That's not meant to be anything more than just showing this character uses the N-word. That's who they are. That's the kind of person they are. This person's not your hero, really. They're just this person in this situation. And it makes it hard to, if you like having heroes that you can role models in movies, like you don't get that with anybody in this, again, which is true of every Walter Hill movie that I know of. Everyone's an anti-hero.
No, I get that. But the movie itself and the plot is just, there's a lot of procedural stuff. And I'm expecting more action stuff than them trying to bust these drug dealers.
Yeah, the procedural end of it is kind of, you don't expect it out of a Schwarzenegger movie.
Yeah, sure. It's a bunch of them investigating things and going through, jumping through hoops to get the drug dealers. It was like watching an episode of Law and Order or something.
Yeah, it felt like The Wire to me a lot. Like,
like
the way it's shot. The way they negotiate the drug deal with a torn $100 bill, that because they did that spycraft shit in the first season of The Wire too. Remember, with the payphones and everything,
right?
And I feel like it's in the tradition of those kind of crime stories.
True,
trying to be very realistic,
right?
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying like a procedural can't be intriguing or entertaining, but this one didn't do anything with it to make it really stand out from other investigative cop dramas like this.
Well, yeah, because it doesn't matter that they did all that shit, because ultimately it comes down to a bus chase. You're like, it doesn't matter that you did all this paperwork, and it's the running joke of all the paperwork involved. There's even a sight gag where I think he wrote useless government document.
Yeah, I did see
or
that.
Some shit like that. Yeah. And the Jim Belushi character. Yeah, there's a lot of collateral damage. Poor Sergeant Gallagher, the sweet cop.
Another partner gets killed.
Yeah, the American partner now gets killed.
Partner killings in this movie. We have double the motive to get after these drug dealers.
Right. Yeah, so that actor, Richard Bright, who played Sergeant Gallagher, the nice cop who meets them at the airport, that poor actor, he was hit by a city bus, or one of those tourist rental buses, where you go
like a double-decker type thing,
something like that. Or some sort of coach, and they backed over him, I guess, at a bus terminal, and they didn't even know it happened. They just drove away, and he died.
Oh, jeez! Oh my gosh!
Yeah, that guy was in the Godfather movies and on The Sopranos too. He played I don't remember if he was a lawyer. I can't remember who would care. I haven't seen those movies in so damn long. Some other honorable mentions: Lou Donnelly is Ridzik boss. Peter Boyle of Everybody Loves Raymond. Did you know he was a monk before he became an actor? Yeah. I learned that
like
today.
you're naming like we mentioned Gina Gershon earlier, and I thought her character was kind of wasted and pointless. I don't know. I thought she was gonna play a bigger part in this besides just being the wife of a drug dealer.
Do you think part of that is
getting murdered off screen?
Yeah, we know Gina Gershon as a big star, and we expect more because of that, or is it? Do you think
not
the story
that? No, it's
needed
just
more
the
of
character.
her?
It was like you needed more of her because like they kind of like made a big deal of her character.
There was more of her, and they got rid of it. They cut it. There was a lot more of her.
Yeah.
And
the show was on screen because I feel like she was just along for the ride, and didn't really drive the story at all.
Yeah, her character Kat, again, she's the one who married him, the drug dealer Victor, to get him a green card or a visa or whatever. She was a bigger part of the story. Like there was a whole sequence where she was part of a sting operation at like a ball game or something they cut from the movie.
And like they set it up that she has more of a backstory and more interesting character than what she did on screen, because she knows that they're into bad stuff, but she has her reasons for doing it because like of the dance studio and everything. So like she has like layers to her character besides just a wife of a drug dealer. In the dance studio, for some reason, it was so smoky. Did you notice that? Everything in this movie, I know it's the 80s and people smoked, but everything was smoky.
Yeah, a lot of smoke. A lot of smoke all over. Yeah, I wonder if those scenes, I think the reason they had to cut her scenes wasn't any fault of hers or the story. I think there were technical reasons they had to delete back then, cut, shred. I don't know what happened to all the footage, but there was a bunch of it of her that's not around.
There's a great sequence with Gina Gershon and both of our Jim Belushi and Arnold Schwarzenegger, whatever. It's at the hospital. And there's, who was in the hospital again?
One of the henchmen, one of the members of the Clean Heads, basically.
That's right.
Or a Russian. I don't know which one he was. He was affiliated with the bad guys.
It was the Russian guy, and he knew stuff. And Razov, that's his name?
Victor Rosta.
Rostov, yeah. They have to silence him, so they send I guess his right-hand man to take care of it.
An assassin. It's a dude dressed as a lady nurse. And Freddy brings up a really good point. The idea of a male nurse was so it couldn't be even thought of back in 1988. So they had to have a dude dress up like a lady nurse to blend in.
Yeah, they didn't do much besides throw a wig on him and threw that old-timey nurse's outfit with the the little dress and the stockings and the little nurse's hat. There's
a scene where Jim Belushi's character is this shows how dumb his character is, just a dumb character. He's checking her out as she's leaving. He's really looking at her.
Because a woman couldn't walk past this character without being commented on in some way.
So I guess I guess it's there. It is pretty dramatic. It makes the reveal pretty dramatic in his death.
Thought the dude looked good as a lady.
Looked good as a woman. It was convincing and it was.
I did not clock it right away.
It did make it like super. Didn't you feel like the scene, his death, was a lot more dramatic because he was dressed up in that white nurse's uniform and pulled that wig off and everything?
Yeah, it
made for like a cool death scene.
Yeah.
I think the visual might be the reason, but I was like, no, they're male nurses back then too. But yeah, they'd be like, we don't want to confuse people, male nurses and such. Yeah. So they get information. I'm trying to remember how they get the inn at the. I skipped over the hotel. This really skeezy hotel where Victor is staying called the Garvin. And it is where he insists, Arnold Schwarzenegger's character insists being dropped to stay instead of the hotel they were going to put him in. It's this flea bag, like roach infested place. And the guy, you know his name, Amy, off the top of your head,
Pruitt Taylor Vince,
who is all over all kinds of stuff. I hadn't seen him this young in a lot of things.
He's the guy with the eyes.
Yeah.
You know, the shaky that eyes that can't stay still. That's an actual condition he has.
Yeah.
Great episode of the X-Files that he was in.
Yeah.
He was a school picture photographer.
Was it in Ruhe?
On Ruha, yeah.
Yeah. That was a really good one.
Yeah.
Is that the one where he's the school picture photographer in that one? Or am I thinking somebody else?
No.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking
that's
of a different
else.
one. Okay. Anywho, I'll have to watch that again. I can't remember the episode.
Why'd you bring the hotel? Oh, because you wanted to mention that actor.
That actor is so good.
Gotcha.
And the scenes in the hotel are really fun because it's just a gross place.
Right.
I like a good gross set piece.
And I felt like that's an actual gross hotel too.
Yeah, it felt real. Definitely.
Yeah.
Good set dressing.
So the story moves along. They go to Joliet prison because this is where the leader of the Cleanheads is in prison. They get this from their criminal informant streak. They know to go there. Brian James, who's the Cajun in Southern Comfort, and tons of other. We talked about him in the Southern Comfort episode. Great actor. So they lean on their criminal informant streak, and this sends them to the Joliet prison where Abdul Elijah, the leader of the Cleanheads, is imprisoned. We've met a Cleanhead earlier in the phone booth scene with a torn $100 bill. That guy, Salim, that's the guy who was in The Man Who Was Death, the Tales from the Crypt episode, who they executed in the very beginning. That's that actor.
Gotcha.
Charlie Ledbetter. And the little $100 bill trick in that scene where they're verifying who each other are through that was pulled from real life. Apparently the Rosenberg spies used a torn Jell-O box so they could match the two halves up.
Interesting.
I guess it's true when they were dealing with nuclear secrets. But this is for drugs. So they get to the prison and they're interviewing Abdul Elijah. It's really Schwarzenegger by himself at this point, right? Yeah, because I remember their conversation, him telling him what would happen in Russia. And then the cool leader of the gang who's like, I'm doing this to ruin white people. He's political. He's like, I'm doing this because I can make things better for my people. I'm a true Marxist kind of thing.
Right.
Kind of an interesting little scene.
So he only sells drugs to white people?
Yeah. He says he likes every white man on earth and their sisters is the quote.
I mean, good for him. Tit for tat. Like the CIA introduced drugs to the black community. So
yeah. And I think that's what
cocaine.
they're riffing on here too. I think there's a little bit of a far left representation here too.
Right.
A lot of these really extreme ideas are in the writing. It's fun. Everyone's got an ideology. Even Victor, the main bad guy, has a whole thing. He gives a little speech about he says to him, we both have our codes, Vanya. Yours one of the state, mine one of thieves. So everybody's got a code in this movie, except for Jim Belushi, but he does. He talks about Miranda rights.
he just doesn't want to do paperwork. That's the only reason he doesn't want Schwarzenegger to go off on his own.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do his job at all.
Yeah. It's not like some following the rules or anything. He just doesn't want to do the administrative stuff.
Well,
Did we mention Peter Boyle as his boss?
you had gotten up and I was saying I learned that Peter Boyle used to be a monk.
Sorry, I had to go check on the dog.
Did you know that he was a monk
No,
before
that
he
makes
got into
sense.
acting? Yeah.
I don't know why. He just looks like a monk.
Yeah, Peter Boyle's a fascinating guy.
Yeah.
Like, look up his story, like even how he got into acting. He was in a movie called Joe, which if you can get your hands on is really interesting. He plays this real shithead character who is just like Archie Bunker, but not a likable Archie Bunker. And great movie. Him and Susan Sarandon's in it. And after he made that movie, he didn't want to play. He was worried he was going to start having to play these jerky characters all the time. So he plays a lot, you see him all over the map, Young Frankenstein and fun shit and everything. And then he's just kind of a likable police chief guy who is trying not to have a heart attack because his job is so stressful. But he's also kind of questionable himself because he's letting, like Andy was saying, this Russian cop, he's like, it's a perfect cover for us not following the rules. we send him in when we don't think we have a good reason to do something. He can do it. So yeah, there's some morality questions there too with these cop characters. Ethics go out the window in this movie.
Hey man, they're just trying to clean up the streets.
That's right. So where are we? We have
I don't think we need to like break down every little
no
cranny for this movie.
We can go to the bus chase now.
Yeah, the bus chase.
Yeah.
I think we've gotten to there at this point. So he's the key we didn't talk about. There's a key that is
to a locker.
To a
They just don't know
locker.
what the locker is, and the key came from Victor.
Yeah. It has there's one place. Is it the cocaine or the money that's in the bus station locker? I can't remember.
I think the money.
Okay. So the point of it is like, they set up Victor via this meeting they had at the prison. He's like, he's going to show up. You can have the cocaine and the money as long as I can have Victor, basically, is the deal. And that leads to the big climax with the bus chases. Which is another
figure out
thing.
the key belongs to a bus locker.
Yeah. And that's where their confrontation, the big final.
Yeah, the big climax of the movie is a bus chase.
Which
Two
was
buses.
also cut down. They did buses
Chasing
because they
after
thought
each
it would
other.
look different.
It did look. I actually appreciated it. I thought that was a fun scene.
It was cool. They
Or
do
two.
destroy some fake landmarks and stuff.
Mhm. Yeah,
Good time.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is driving a bus and he drives it into like a statue or whatever, and Belushi's like, "Hey, that's like a fucking landmark."
They wanted to. There was some. There's another behind the scenes. There's a video on YouTube that I think Joe Blow did, or one of them, and it's a classic. It's just a reposting of an old behind the scenes video about the making of this movie. It's pretty fun. If you want to see more about the bus scene and shit that was cut out, it's a pretty good movie.
I don't remember how the bus scene ends.
He eventually kills Victor.
Did Victor get killed?
Yeah.
Do you remember, Andy?
I don't like. I kind of checked out at some point, so I didn't really pay
Yeah.
attention.
No, I can't remember.
But honestly, I was kind of bored throughout the whole. Within like the first 20 minutes are great, I think, and I thought it never rose to that level again. And this movie is just kind of there, it's nothing to really write home about.
Yeah, it's
You know what
not
I
a
mean?
great movie. It's
Just very
mildly
flatlined.
entertaining. It's perfectly fine, but it's not something you ever need to revisit. You never need to go this movie and point.
Yeah, I
at
just
it
never
and
felt
say it's
any.
an example of. It's not.
Yeah, it never really rose above the first 20 minutes. Like never felt the stakes were really that high, or
Freight train
or
hit
the
him.
Right.
or the villain was that even interesting. I don't know. I never got the feeling that he was this really evil god that you need to take down at any cost.
He wasn't threatening like
Yeah,
a city
he was just a drug
center.
dealer,
He got
With
hit
a
by
bomb
he
or
got hit
anything.
by a train in the end.
Oh,
The bus
okay.
he was driving did. That's
Yeah.
how they
Yeah.
got him.
Like I'm not saying drug dealers is bad enough, but you got to make it more interesting than just a standard drug dealer that wants to bring drugs to Russia. You need to raise up his threat level and his villainous.
Right.
By today's standards, yes. In 1988, I think people were happy to have drug dealers as big villains, but like today, it's not enough. Like they have to have nuclear launch codes, or they have to like feed people to actual alligators or pigs.
Yeah, I need to see his ruthlessness and his really bad side. You need an interesting villain, and then you really have it here.
Yeah.
And it's cute at the
Performance
end.
is good though.
Schwarzenegger and Belushi's character, they exchange watches as a measure of friendship, even though one watch is worth way more than the other watch.
Yeah, Jim Belushi gives him a really nice watch.
And then Arnold Schwarzenegger gives him a cheap ass watch.
A swatch.
Watch.
And it has Gina Gershon, so that's always a plus.
Always a plus. Peter Boyle's fun to watch. Gina Gershon.
Larry Fishburne.
He did fine. His character was whatever.
They didn't give him enough to do.
Yeah.
They should have. There's probably scenes of him that were probably cut out too. would be my guess.
Mhm.
Because that
So,
character seemed to
thanks,
have backstory
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. So thanks, Tim, for the pick.
Thanks for your pick there, buddy. All right, is
Appreciate
it
you.
time?
You pulling a new theme?
Are we pulling a new theme?
All right. Amy's really shuffling them around.
I'm really
good.
shuffling.
What do we got?
We have got. Oh my god, I cannot read that. High fantasy.
High fantasy. That's pretty self-explanatory.
Sword and
High
sorcery
fantasy.
kind of.
No, not like half-baked. I'm kidding.
You're
Yeah.
funny.
High fantasy, I think, is more like magic and elves and that sort of shit. Goblins and trolls.
Goblins and trolls and shit. That's our theme for next month.
High fantasy. There's a definitive answer out there of what high fantasy is and isn't.
Okay.
I don't know it off the top of my head,
All right.
but it is
I'm
a genre.
trusting you.
It is a refined genre of storytelling. You
Is
read
this because
you
you've
used to
been
read a lot of it.
reading
I'm sorry.
Lord of the Rings? Is this why? You
No,
put this
that's
in the
been in
hat?
there for a long time. That was in there during the drying up period of the hat where some more stuff just needed to go in there. And that's like a generic genre.
Okay. Sounds
Did I
good.
ruin the magic of it?
No.
That one's just a generic genre.
Genre.
Yeah.
Well, Amy, think like Beastmaster or Kroll.
I've
If
never
you want some
seen Kroll.
examples.
We should do
Kroll
that.
is fun. Yeah, that's high fantasy for sure.
Faux show.
Dune
Like,
might
I
even
think
qualify. I don't know.
And Conan would qualify as high fantasy.
Yeah, that's
Which we've done.
That's more sword and sorcery. There's a little. Yeah, you're right. There's a little high fantasy in there. You got a sorcerer in there. Well, yeah. There's
we'll
good.
refine
There's
it.
good
We'll
titles.
figure it out.
There's good shit. We'll come up with stuff. Don't
We're
worry.
gonna do it, and we're gonna work on. We haven't had a pun theme
Yeah,
name in a
Let's come
while,
up with a pun for it.
so maybe we can do that too.
And if you want a chance to pick one of those high fantasy films, just subscribe to our mailing list at notlp.com. notlp.com. Sorry for my slur. Racial
All right.
and otherwise.
Now's the part of the show where we move the F on to
Mhm.
what else we've been watching. I'm gonna start with Freddie Morris.
All right.
Freddie Morris, what have you been watching?
Two things.
Yeah.
One, a quick recommendation for the movie Cold Storage. If you're a fan of 80s horror like Return of the Living Dead and the Blob remake and stuff like that, Cold Storage is really fun. It's something that you can rent or buy right now on streaming. It was in theaters. It's Liam Neeson and one of the Stranger Things. Steve. Was this character Steve on Stranger Things? I can't remember.
Who's the actor in the movie?
I
I know there was a
young
Steve
man.
in Stranger Things.
Yeah, he was Steve.
Okay.
The one with the good hair.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
Steve.
He's in it. It's a lot of fun. But the one I thought was outstanding was this made-for-TV movie from the early 70s called the Norliss Tapes. It's Dan Curtis, the guy who did like Dark Shadows, and some people were involved with Kolchak the Night Stalker later on. But it's the story of this writer who is writing a book to debunk the paranormal named Norliss, who disappears, and an investigator who goes to his home, who's from the publisher, if I remember right. It's very much like In the Mouth of Madness. I think In the Mouth of Madness might have even been inspired some by this. He finds at Norliss's home all these tapes because he said he had been writing the book but hadn't transcribed everything, and it was all on tapes. And there's these tapes that are numbered, like he puts in tape number 1, and it's the story, the beginning of the story that you get in the made-for-TV movie. So the whole idea was this would become like a weekly series, kind of an early X-Files type of thing, where the investigator trying to track down the writer is going through all these other stories the writer investigated. Really cool. And the first one's about an artist who comes back from the dead to work on a sculpture that is like this big kind of demon thing, and it has human blood in the clay and you know all that nasty stuff. But it's on YouTube in its entirety, the Norliss Tapes, plus a lot of commentaries are out there on it because it's had a little bit of a comeback renaissance, I guess.
It's a cult classic.
It's a cult, because I was looking into the best made for TV movies of all time is where I originally found this on somebody's list. And I was like, I'm in. I love a good made for TV horror movie.
You do, and you love anything that is anthology like.
Mm-hmm.
That is your favorite.
It's a shame this didn't get picked up, it would have been a great series. Because the acting, it's got like cool cars in it, like Rockford does.
It's got cool cars.
It's got the lead is really good. The effects were good. The atmosphere was really on point.
The Norliss Tapes.
Yep.
All right.
Check it out.
Well, thank you very much.
Or where can they find this if they're interested?
YouTube. It's a little site called YouTube.
YouTube.
Yep.
Say it weird. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For your time and effort. A+. I'll go next. I watched a true crime documentary. It's on Netflix. It's called
Is it the Crash one?
Yes.
Did you watch
I've been hearing about this.
Oh, yeah.
No, I've been like reading all these buzzy documentaries when it come out.
Yeah.
They kind of have like a pop culture moment, and I just kind of read about the case a little bit. I don't think I want to. After reading about it, I don't want to watch it.
It is infuriating, this documentary. Well, not, the documentary itself isn't infuriating. It's the people in the documentary that are infuriating. It's the story of this girl, her boyfriend, and his friend. They were driving home from a hang, somebody's house, and then they get in a car accident. They crash into a building, and the two dudes die, the boyfriend and the friend. She lives, the driver, Mackenzie Shirilla. And it's just the story of, what happens from that day. How do you spoil something that was a news story? I don't know. It happened in Ohio. I vaguely remember hearing about it when it happened, or I think when she was arrested. Welcome back, Freddy. Freddy left the room. I'm busted. Freddy left the room and he came back.
Sorry.
Takes place in Strongsville, Ohio, which is up near Cleveland. So not close to us at all. But the driver, they figure out that she never braked. Would you say braked?
Mm-hmm.
She kept her foot on the gas pedal 100% and was almost going 100 miles an hour when they crashed into this building. It's a miracle she lived. What makes you so infuriated is her family. I get it. It's your kid. You love your kid. But when your kid clearly makes a poor decision to continue to but did nothing wrong and she doesn't remember and la 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 la.
The cat's out of the bag at that point.
Giving excuses to your kid is how we end up with all these fucking idiot children out there, because you never let your children fail. You never let your children feel consequences. You just never let your children be. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I don't have kids. What do I know about raising children? If I had raised children, they probably would be horrible monsters. But neither here nor there. Her mom in particular, I want to slap vigorously. Just a couple of quick both cheeks.
See, the dad was getting under my skin more than the mom was.
Dad's a problem as well.
It's just it's projection. I don't know any of this for real, but it did feel like they had set her up as someone who was not going to do anything bad ever in their life, kind of.
Yeah, I'm glad somebody else is watching it. Just reading articles makes me upset about it. So I don't think I can sit through a whole documentary of them, making excuses for their daughter and being awful in court. That was the hardest thing to read about their behavior in the court.
Yeah.
And their statements, So yeah.
Yeah.
And he wears some really insensitive t-shirt to the trial and everything.
Well, they didn't. I don't know. They didn't
that.
cover that in the documentary if that's what happened. But
who wore an insensitive T-shirt? The one of the parents?
The dad, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
But
well-made documentary.
Spoil it, but she has is she in there for life, or do you got 30 years or something like that?
30 to life.
15. Okay. After 15 years, she gets the opportunity for parole, potentially. But they don't believe that she's ever going to get out.
Yeah. And she's really young too. So that's
Yeah. She was 17 when it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they interview her. they interview her, and there is no taking responsibility. There's no anything. I don't remember. I couldn't have done that. I didn't do that.
It's not like
It's like,
horribly.
girl, we know you know.
It's such a compelling documentary that, as dark as it is, it was hard to turn away from the whole thing.
Right.
It's really well made from an emotional standpoint,
And the whys of it, and the motive ideas that they come up with in the documentary are really interesting. But I don't know that you'll ever truly know, which is frustrating too.
Yeah, because at that point, like it's at the point where you're already in prison for your rest of your life. You could just spill your guts.
You could just give
and
these
unburden
families
yourself too.
some closure because they want to know.
Yeah.
She just comes off as just the most shallow, just shallow. And I have every belief in my heart that I don't think she planned to do what she did, but I think it was a spur of the moment decision. And I think she absolutely jammed her foot down on that gas pedal and did it on purpose. That's just me.
No,
That's how
it's me
I
too.
feel.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, the crash.
Oh, thank you for sitting through that, Amy.
You're
I'm sure
welcome.
it was probably tough at some points.
It was actually, but it was still really interesting. So what you got, Andy?
Well, this is on since we're on Netflix. The thing I watched was on Netflix too.
Ooh.
It's that new series, The Burroughs.
Oh yeah,
Have you heard about this?
I have.
It's
No.
basically described as Stranger Things, except with old people.
Oh,
And that's basically what it is. It's about this kind of retirement community that Alfred Molina moves into, and all the characters involved in that. And there's this like not supernatural. I don't know how I would describe it, but there's like this thing going on. I'm only 2 episodes in, so I can't really talk about too much. And the first thing I really like is the characters. It takes us time to build the world and the people that live in it.
Right.
And you get attached to them. They're really nice characters.
Aww.
A lot of familiar faces. Gina Davis.
I thought you were gonna say
Bill
Gershon.
It's a Gina heavy episode. Bill Pullman and Alfred Woodard and Dennis O'Hare. If you saw him in
Yeah.
the
Stats.
Great cast.
And Alfred Molina is the lead, and he's really compelling. And he looks good. It's weird. It's like he has his beard, and it's kind of like a cheat code to make somebody hot.
It does work. It really does work.
A cheat
Yeah.
code.
Yeah, like so I was like, damn, Alfred Molina, I wasn't familiar with their game.
He's a good looking man.
Sir.
Yeah, so it's so far it's like it's taken its time to get to the mystery because we don't really. There's glimpses of it, what's going on in the first episode, but the first episode, like I said, is about the world building, and second episode it finally kind of gets going on. You just know something weird's going on, and there's like this big mystery and conspiracy with the community itself. You get this feeling that there's something going on. But to say it's kind of hard to watch a couple of times because it deals with old people and the things they're going through with their health and loss and stuff. So if you like been through that type of stuff, then it kind of hits home a little harder.
Right.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And it takes advantage of the characters too, because they're old and everybody says, "Oh, you're just hallucinating things. You're forgetful," to kind of explain away these weird things that are going on. So it's they chose like the type of people that they're focusing on really well.
Do they have a little Dungeons and Dragons group like in Stranger Things?
Now they have they sit around the fire drinking.
Oh,
So
you
I
guys
guess
be
that's
like it's
closest
all
to the-
mahjong.
Yeah. And it also makes me feel old too, because they have like a Jaws scene
Yeah.
where they're comparing all their scars from their procedures.
Oh, that's funny.
That's fun.
I was like, oh no, that's gonna be us soon.
That's gonna be us. Give us like 25 years,
Or me now.
20 years.
You want to see my
No.
my latest?
Don't.
Well, it's not just like scars and just like, oh, I got knee problems, I got back problems. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm nearly
we can
dead.
relate.
I'm nearly
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah, so like it's cute. That's how the best describe it. It's a cute little series.
That sounds great.
The cat.
Are you a fan of Bubba Hotep?
Yeah. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah, that's a fun movie. Similar premise.
I feel like there's a lot of good, fun television out there right now.
Yeah.
Really want to watch Widow's Bay. I heard it, but
Mm-hmm.
then somebody just described it as, I was listening to a podcast today and they described it as The Office set in Castle Rock. I was like,
That's a bad way
I
to
don't
describe
like that.
anything. Those two things
also
don't
that,
go together.
I want to watch it, but it's also on Apple TV, and I don't have the
I don't have
subscription
Apple
anymore.
TV
So
either.
We just go
Does
when
his-
the neighbors are watching
does his
it
job for me. Yeah.
and stare through their window.
Just you have to like go down the street until you find out they're watching.
Yep.
That's how it works.
Check every window,
Yep.
and every door.
All right. Anything else before we wrap it up?
No, I'm really curious to see what movies we come up with for high fantasy, though. There's so many options. I'll be thinking about it.
As you're trying to go to sleep tonight.
Yep.
Well, at the end of every show,
Okay.
go
No.
ahead.
I'm sorry. I feel like it's gonna be very 80s heavy because that's kind of like the peak
Yeah.
of high fantasy movies.
Yeah. I feel like you might know this genre pretty well, Andy, from the sound of it.
Well, like I grew up, I'm an 80s kid, and I think anybody that grew up in the 80s like is familiar with this, like Dark Crystal, Kroll, Conan movies, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah.
All
Oh.
right.
I was already looking up titles while you were starting to read the list.
At the end of every show, we say hi to our Beelzebubs. Patreon.com/NOTLP if you want to become one. There's also extra stuff there, extra content. Matt, Brandon and Emily, Dr. Brian, Old Dirty Bill Sturd, Bill Fahrner, Blayne Yogurt, Jordash Jeans, Monica, Ernest, Dave, and Shayna Bobena. We love you. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you, Walter Hill, for your contributions to cinema and TV.
Yeah, Walter Hill, you've done really well, and he's still alive. Love him while he's alive.
Good for him.
All right, bye, everybody.
Bye.
Wondering if he should go to bed.